Welcome back, class. This will be our final demonstration video for the collaborative art unit. This is your demonstration for lesson 3 to show you how just to finish your project and what's expected of you over the next couple days. So for lesson 3, your task is now to complete all of your assigned squares in full color with proper placement, proportion, color, and scale. So what that basically means is on lesson 1, you were taught or you were and supposed to try drawing your square to match the exact placement and sizes of everything in your square from the original. So that was the first step. In the second lesson, you were responsible for adding color with your pastels and trying to match the color as it's seen in the original, not just coloring it randomly, but trying to match the squares. So now all you're going to do is continue what you've already learned from lesson 1 and 2 and just apply it to your remaining squares. So if you were given 2, 3, 4 squares, again, I don't know how many squares were sent to you during the time of the making of this video, but whatever squares were sent to your email, make sure you finish all 3, and then ultimately you'll send them to me, but we'll discuss that in just a minute. All right, so I'm going to go to the next slide here. So this slide here just shows that, if, for example, this was your first square that you did and you finished it for lessons 1 and 2, you drew it in the proper placement and size and added the color. All you need to do now is do the same thing for your second, third, fourth square. Again, however many squares you have. If you only have 2, then do the 2, but if you were given more, please do all of them. You're all given an equal amount of squares. No one has more or less squares than the other. Any other remaining squares, I'll supply myself. All right, so just finish your squares in full color. And just to demonstrate this project, you were all collaborating on the same work, even though you're all doing things differently, separately at home. Once everyone submits all their images, you'll see how they all come together. So for example, if you were given this square here, let me move this. Oops, sorry about that, guys. Let me just fix this real quick and I'll continue making that point. So if you were given this square here and it's supposed to fall in C2, I'm honestly not sure where it's supposed to fall, but I think it's about C2. And one of your other classmates, oops, this is not going as smoothly as I wanted it to. One of your other classmates was given this square. You can see how they'll match together. Now, of course, we're not going to be matching together the original picture. We're matching together your actual artwork to see how you all contributed to the overall picture, how we were able to harness your skills and your talents. I think this goes here, if I'm not mistaken, and I'll do one more. But ultimately, what I'm trying to say is that once this entire project is done, I will take all your squares and I will align them up like this, and I will display them on the Schoology art homepage for everyone to see, so you can see the culmination of all your efforts and to show what you all completed together individually. Because if you did this all, if I gave this entire artwork to just one of you, this would be a huge undertaking. Again, collaborating on a large-scale project is ideal because it allows a much more efficient, faster execution of an assignment to get done on a large scale. All right, so again, that's all you need to do is finish all of your squares. I'm just going to hide all this here. And then the last thing to note is, even though we're on lesson 3 right here, you should still just send me under the lesson production discussion, send me your near completed squares. Say, hey, Mr. Gok, how am I doing? And even if you're completely done, just send them to me there. How am I doing? And I'll give you a response. But it is very important, do not just submit it to the lesson 3 lesson project discussion. Make sure you submit your final ones under final projects. You must submit your final project there. That is where I'm going to grade you for the 100 points. So you're basically sending it to lesson 3 just to double check with me. Hey, Mr. Gok, does this look like I can submit it for my final? If I say yes, submit it to the final projects. If I say, you know what, I would recommend making these additions, these changes, just make those changes and then send it to the final project. And the last thing, once you've submitted all of your squares, then you complete your learning log assignment. You'll just click on the learning log where the puzzle piece is and just follow the prompts. You're basically responsible for answering the 6 vocab definitions. You'll have the words on one side and the definitions on the other, and all you have to do is match them. And then you'll have 3 questions. It's just asked you to explain the steps you took to make this project. How did you do it? What does it look like? Why did you make the decisions you made? And then lastly, the essential question. That essential question we've been talking about how you can harness other artists' talents and skills when collaborating on something. You need to be able to answer that, which we've been talking about at length over these 3 units. And if you get stuck on that, if you're reading that and you get stuck, just go back to the vocabulary videos for each one of the lessons, and that should help guide your answer. All right, I look forward to seeing your final projects, and we have just about almost finished our first unit, and we'll be starting our second unit in just a couple days. But again, I look forward to seeing what you guys have done, and hopefully starting everyone off with a very strong grade. All right, bye everyone. Please message me if you have any questions.